Thank
I'm feeling grateful to welcome our next guest who is spraying love in all directions and awakening people for realizing the true meaning of inner peace. She is Ms. Emy Blesio, Mahamandleshwar Pandit Yoga Charani Swami Gayatri Devi. She's a Yoga Paripurna School Master and UPF Ambassador for Peace recognized by UN, received honorary doctorate by Techno India University, and elected as advisor of this university. In 2010, she received the F. Gandhi Simplicity Award at the Mahatma Gandhi Memorial in New Delhi, India. Emy Blesio is patron of the Women International Network Award for Peace and Non-Violence and member forever of the World Peace Development and Research Foundation India. In Italy, she is member of Seta Mondo Association Board of Directors, Milan Department of Culture, and contact person for the Rights and Equal Opportunity section. She is founder and spiritual guide in Milan of Suryanagra Ashram, president of the World Community of IC and TD of CUIWY official Italian Confederation of Yoga and the International Yoga Confederation of Delhi, co-founder and ambassador of the World Movement of Yoga and Ayurveda. During the last 20 years, she has published her experiences in 12 books. So please welcome Ms. Emy Blesio.
Amy ji, namaste.
Namaste.
It is always empowering seeing you in terms of Shakti, and we all are ready to listen from you about yoga for reducing inequalities. Thank you.
Yes. Which was this? Yoga, international education mind, awakening consciousness. Namaste. Namaste. Welcome everybody into my world. Because beyond physical practice, yoga as a path to global and inner education. I would like to begin with a question. Can we truly speak of a global education if we teach students how to understand the world, but not how to understand themselves with the world? We need a reflection about yoga and international education. Yoga offers something complementary. It teaches us who we are and how our mind works. Can we truly speak all of global education if we teach students how to understand the world, but not how to understand themselves within the world? Today we often talk about international education, and this is certainly fundamental. Young people need to know languages, understand culture, develop scientific and social skills, and learn how to stay in a complex society. But there is an even deeper question. Who is the person that use all this knowledge? We can have very competent people with great professional skills, but if they lack self-awareness, something remains incomplete. And in this space, that yoga can offer great contribution. When we talk about yoga, many people think about postures, physical exercises. This is certainly a part of yoga, normally, but it's not a yoga in its completeness. Yoga originating in Indian tradition, has a much deeper past, has a profound spiritual, mental self-realization. In the Indian tradition, yoga has been considered a true science of consciousness. But every tradition, as it spreads, brings with it to carry the responsibility of preserving its essence alive. Because the risk is that something very profound is transformed into merely a technique, a product, and a superficial practice. Yoga isn't just something we do with the body, but it transforms the way we can observe ourselves and the world. Yoga means a union between body and mind, we and nature. The sage Patanjali tells us that yoga is the stilling of the fluctuation of the mind. This idea is extremely profound. Reminds us that the true difficulty of the human being is not only what happens outside of him, but also how his mind interprets reality. And then yoga becomes a path of knowledge. Posture are important, but they represent a larger part that includes discipline, ethics, meditation, inner observation, and the search for the meaning of life. And here we come to the modern education that is oriented toward knowledge, competence, and the achievement of goals. We teach young people how to have a success, develop skills, to integrate them into society. But perhaps we need to ask ourselves a question. Are we also teaching enough to develop compassion? Or how to live in harmony with others? Because the problem of our age is not a lack of information. We have an enormous amount of information. The problem is transforming that information into knowledge and knowledge into awareness. This is one of yoga fundamental teachings. Through the yama and niyama, yoga proposes principles that don't belong only to one culture, but can speak to every human being. No violence, truth, respect, moderation, self-discipline, purity of intention. These are values that can profoundly spikes with international education to live in the world with awareness, the ability not to be dominated by possession. And again, personal discipline, self-study, purity of intention, the ability to accept and understand. Perhaps this is the great opportunity of the encounter between yoga and international education that teaches us that we are part of a global community. Yoga teaches us to deeply perceive this interconnection. When we understand that life is interconnected and the collaboration is no longer just a moral obligation, it becomes something natural because time we see the other as separate from us. Notice that we see relationship, we see an unity, and perhaps the task of education in the future will be precisely this to train people able not only of knowing the world but of feeling responsible for it because international education trains citizens of the world but authentic yoga forms human beings aware of their place of planet Earth. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Asatuma Sagamaya Tamasuma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Mritangamaya Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Sarve Jnana Sukhino Bhavantu Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityormukshyamamritate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Thank you very much, Emy ji. I always remember your quote that yoga is everything, but everything is not yoga. I always
This is
tell
important.
always think about it, how profound and simple it is at the same time. And you mentioned that school education
Yes,
should assure that through yoga, the science of knowing your purpose of life should be taught to the students. You said that our teachings are useless if they cannot teach harmony and compassion. When we have harmony and compassion in heart, then inequality will start getting reduced. For that, yamas and niyamas can be a great input.
yes.
The problem of our times is not lack of knowledge, it's lack